just stop for a second and think about what it is we're doing as a wholesaler. As a wholesaler, you're looking for properties you can get at a deep discount. We've already talked about that in the previous videos. Why would you get a property at a deep discount? Because there's something wrong with it. It needs repairs. It might be so bad that people can't even live in it, or it might be someone living in it, but it needs a lot of updates, a lot of work, and you'd be surprised with what some people are willing to tolerate. I've bought homes before that I did not even want to walk in, that were still occupied and people were living in. I can't even tell you some of the things that I've seen in my 11 years, about 12 years now of real estate investing. Scary stuff. So the point is, as wholesalers, again, like we talked about in the previous videos, you want to get properties at deep discounts. Why are people willing to discount properties? Almost always because it needs work. Okay, cool. Now, if you're buying properties that need work, who's going to buy that? Bob and Mary Sue down the street, who are first-time home buyers. They're ready to start their families. They know nothing about fixing up properties. They don't know any contractors. One's a school teacher. One's a branch manager at a bank, and they just want to buy their home and live in it. Are they going to buy a beat-up piece of crap to then fix themselves as handymen or try to hire contractors? Almost not. Who we as wholesalers are wholesaling our houses to are rehabbers. Now again, I said this in 2 or 3 videos ago. Wholesaling's legit. I enjoy it. I've done a lot of it, but I by far rehab more than I wholesale. Probably like 10 to 1. And like I said in the other videos, there's no wrong or right strategy. Do you like brunettes? Do you like blondes? Do you like redheads? Do you like rehabbing? Do you like wholesales? It's all about preference. So I am a rehabber. And why you want to find someone like me is because I pay cash, I close quickly, I'm unemotional about the deal. I just look at the numbers, and if it makes sense, I take it. If it doesn't make sense, I'll tell you the number that makes sense to me, and we'll either do a deal or I'll pass. It's that simple. And so why you want to find not just any buyer, but cash buyers specifically, is because we're in the business of buying and fixing real estate. We're going to look at your numbers, say I'll take it, usually not. Of course, we want to negotiate a little bit, and if there's a price that I'm willing to pay that you're willing to sell it for, we got ourselves a deal. So, that being said, let's talk about how to pitch someone like me who's a cash buyer. I can't even tell you how many deals come across my desk. True story, I had to hire someone to start looking at my deals, only doing nothing other than looking at deal or deal analysis because of how much I get pitched on properties that are out there. I don't have time to sit there and do any work on my end, if that makes sense. You need to have already done all the work for me to show me the numbers that I need to see. What the neighborhood's going for, we've talked about those numbers before. I don't have time to spend 20 minutes, even 15 minutes, not even really 10 minutes looking at your deal. What you need to have already done when you're bringing a wholesale opportunity to a cash buyer is have everything lined up, everything line itemed, everything good to go, and literally hand it to me. So I just run the numbers, fact check a couple of things using the MLS on mine or whatever, pull the trigger, and I'm ready to go. So another thing is when you're in a verbal conversation or dialogue with a cash buyer, respect that they don't want to waste a lot of time having a conversation. Many of you in this group are brand new to real estate investing, and so these first dozen times you talk to cash buyers might be the first dozen times you've ever had this conversation. But it's probably the 12,000th time they've had this conversation. And they don't want to hear about your Aunt Sally and the job that you left because you don't find fulfillment in it, and you want a new challenge, you want a new adventure, and so you bought this course through Cole & Ty, and you're learning how to invest in real. They don't care. They want to know about the deal, they want to know about the specifics, in as little of words and as quickly to the bottom line as possible. So when you're presenting to lenders, you want to have, not lenders, excuse me, when you're presenting to buyers, cash buyers specifically, you want to have everything line itemed out, all your I's dotted, all your T's crossed, and present them what is called a wholesale packet. That's what we're going to get into in the next video, are some of the ingredients or some of the things that go inside a wholesale packet. But a conversation about a property is not as good as all the details of a property already line itemed out and handed in a packet. So in the next video we're going to talk about that packet. All I wanted to say right here is to get clear on who it is we're pitching. If you're wholesaling and you want to pitch someone a wholesale deal, if you can see that person in your mind, then you know how to communicate to them. You know what to say to them. You know how to talk to them. This is a person who's a full-time investor, who's unemotional, who has no time, who just wants to see the numbers and make a decision. With that in mind, you can cater your conversation into a way someone like me will actually take the time to listen to you. Give me all the facts in as few words as possible, right to the bottom line, period. So in the next video, I'm going to talk to you about what a wholesale packet is, what should be in it, and how to set one up. What's up, it's Cole again. Let's talk about how to create a wholesale packet. Now, again, like I just said in the last video, the purpose of a wholesale packet is to as clearly and quickly give a potential buyer all the information they need to make an informed buying decision. You might want to write that down. That's important. An informed buying decision, not an emotional decision, not a gut check, not a my gut tells me or my intuitions. No, it's just an informed decision, period. An informed buying decision. And so one thing to keep in mind is, what would you want to see? I'm going to give you the list of everything that I put inside my own wholesale packets. But one thing you're going to want to do is just think about it for a minute and say, okay, let me put myself on the other side of this conversation. If someone were to meet me at Starbucks or meet me at my home or meet me at my office and pitch me on me buying a house, right? Like, you're the buyer in this case. So a wholesaler comes to you and says, hey, whatever your name is, here's a property. What would you want to see? Really think about this for a second. This can be very helpful. If I came to you today and I said, hey, I've got the sickest deal in all of Orange County. It's a home run sweetheart deal. And you really have access to money or your own. You really are a cash buyer and you're ready to go. What would you want me to show you to make that buying decision? Stop for a second and think about it. And then that's probably pretty smart to include whatever you just thought of in your packet, because if that's what you would need to see to feel good about a deal, chances are that's what someone else is going to want to see to be able to pull the trigger on the deal. So just think about that. What would make it easier for you to pull the trigger? What resources do you need? How much rehab work? All that stuff. So let's get into this. When it comes to the wholesale packet, you want to start off with a cover page. Seems simple enough. Let me explain to you what my cover page looks like. I'll just draw it for you. Hopefully you could see this. So when it comes to the cover page, right here, I have a picture of the house. Exterior, front of the house, from the street, looking at it. Up here, I have the address of this property. So it's at like 123 Main Street, city and state. And then below the property, I have, and above it, I have the price. I'm just running out of roof. So I have what I'm selling it for. And then down here, I have all my contact info. Contact info. So, probably should have drawn that a little better. This is the cover page. This is the first thing you're going to see. Exterior, front of the house, Main Street. Let's call it $110,000, whatever, $2 million, doesn't matter. And then down here, all my contact info. That's page one. That's pretty simple. So, exterior, front, you're standing in front of the house, pull out your iPhone, take a picture of it, put that on here. Next is a table of contents. Make it look professional. Page 2 should be table of contents. That's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. They see this cover page right here. They say, ooh, looks like a nice little house. Hey, that price point is within what I'm typically buying, what I'm interested in. Here's all their contact info. Whoosh, they turn the page. Boom, here's a table of contents. Pretty simple. Again, pretty straightforward. Page 3. You want to have the tax records. Tax records from the auditor's website, from the county auditor or tax records. If you go to the city records or the tax auditor's records or the tax auditor's website, each property is in its own city, and each city may call it something different, but every single city has the tax records. Why do you want that? Because the tax records include things like bedroom, bathroom, square foot, year built, the land size, right? How big the square footage is of the lot. Everything about that property and the tax records will be there. Everything it was listed for, everything that it has sold for previously, and what the current tax assessed value is, which I wouldn't trip on too much. The tax assessed value could be pretty close and it could be way off. We're buying a property right now that is millions of dollars off what the tax assessed value is, which is kind of a problem for us because now we've got to pay the difference. But the tax auditor's website is, and the records that you can pull for free, by the way. You just go in there, you type in the address, and you'll be able to pull it for free. It gives a lot of really quality information about that property that the future buyer is going to want from you. Page 5, so I'll start putting numbers on it. This is the cover page. Page 1, then we'll call it as table of contents. Page 2 is the tax records. Page 3, right? So cover page, whoosh, table of contents, whoosh, tax records, right from the auditor's website. And again, this could be 2 or 3 pages long, depending on how they've organized the information. So when I say page 3, it might actually be page 5. You guys get it. But the third thing you're putting in the packet. So let's just set that standard. Don't get stuck in the detail. I don't want emails or snap messages from you guys asking for clarification. The first thing is a cover page. The second thing is a table of contents. The third thing is a tax auditor's records, usually only 1 page worth. Sometimes they're 2. I've even seen them 3 pages. Cool. What comes after that is you're going to put in the property information yourself. Property info, like bed, bath, square foot, etc. Year built. So why are you putting this in? Because isn't this the exact same information as page 2? It is. But if you've ever pulled tax records on a property before, a lot of times it's really confusing. It's not clear. Up here in the top right, it'll have the square footage of the lot. Then over here in the bottom left, it'll have the square footage of the house. Then over here, it'll have the tax assessed value. Then over here, it'll have the land value and the improvement values, right? Then over here, it'll have the bedroom, bathroom, square foot. And sometimes, even though all the information is here that people need, it gets confusing. And after looking at it for 30 seconds, a person's like, screw it, I've already taken too much time that I don't have for this property. So, why I suggest taking this information and rewriting it yourself in a clear, more easy to read manner is because it's just faster. So what you're literally going to do is from the tax records, you're just going to type it. This is on a Microsoft Word document. You're going to say the property is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square foot house built in 1983. The lot size is 7,200 square feet, etc., etc. It's just the bedroom, bathroom, square foot details. Again, same information they can get here, but it's so much easier to just see it written out, line item down. Okay. The next thing that you're going to put are pictures and video. Now, they say pictures are worth what? 1,000 words. So then what's a video worth? 1,000,000? Pictures, very simple. You or your contractor or your realtor or whoever, because I did a lot of wholesale deals out of state, so I would send my contractor, my realtors to this for me. I've done a lot of deals in state, and I'll just take care of this myself. But you're going to want to show up to the property. You're not going to need anything too fancy. You can literally use your iPhone to just walk through the property and snap some pictures. You may say, Cole, is it really necessary to have pictures if I'm also going to do a video? Yes, because if you're walking through a property with your video and you do a quick circle and they saw something in the corner and they're trying to pause the video just right, it's just easier for them to also have the still images as well so they can really take a good look. So again, the pictures is pretty simple. Take interior, take exterior properties, take pictures of every bathroom, take pictures of every square inch of that house, take pictures of the ceiling. You can never have too much. One thing I've learned about video footage and pictures is that you can't have too many, but you can have too little. You might be like, man, I'm only going to take 15 pictures of this house, and you totally didn't take a picture of one of the bedrooms upstairs. That's a problem. It's better to have 15 pictures of the same bedroom and have your future buyer be like, damn, this person's thorough. There's 800 pictures for this house, which is a little overkill. Maybe 80 is enough, but take a bunch of pictures. Cool. Go in the corner of the room, stand in the corner, take a picture. Go to the opposite corner, take a picture back. If that didn't get the whole room, take whatever you missed and move on. Cool. Now the videos, this is a little more important. I would start the property standing in the street, look both ways, be safe. Outside of the house, say the property address and the date, because there are freaking scam artists out there that sell beat up ugly houses from walkthrough videos that are years old. I know, I almost bought one, and then on the last second said, screw it, I'm going to go take a look at it myself. Holy cow, it had different carpet, it was a whole different house. And it was the same house, but it looked very different. So, when you do this video, here's how you start it, right? I'm holding, hey, will you hand me my iPhone? I'm literally going to work this out for you guys. So, here's my iPhone, right on. I'm going to be standing, geez, I'm blowing up. We're going to be standing outside the property. You're going to just turn your phone on. facing this way, you might be like, oh, I'm super shy, I don't want to be on camera. You don't need to be on camera. We're just going to hear your voice. You're going to point it at the house. This is so simple. Many of you are like, Cole, come on, really, you're going to walk us through this? Yes, you're welcome. So you're going to start videoing the house. You're going to say, what's up? This is Cole. Today is February 7th, 2017. I'm standing outside 123 Main Street, Laguna Niguel, California. Let's take a look down the street. As you can see, this is a single-loaded street, or you could see that this is a cul-de-sac, or whatever it is, right? Let's take a look across the street. As you can see here, you've got the neighbors' homes just across the street, or you got the park right across the street, or you've got the school right across the street, whatever it is. And here's a look down the street this way as well. So now the person's got a good perspective on where this property is. Okay, that's it for the outside. Let's take a quick walk around the exterior, and literally don't stop walking. Start right there, and before you start filming, make sure you have the side gates open, or however you would access the backyard, assuming you can through side yards. If not, then you're going to walk through the house and go to the backyard later. You're going to walk through that property and show them the entire exterior of the home. You're going to end up back to the driveway where you started. You're going to say, let's take a look inside. Again, on the off chance that you can't access the backyard from the front, you got to go through the house, then just do it later, right? When you're in the kitchen, say, let's go take a look outside. Okay, so you've just done the walkthrough, you're back on the driveway, now you say, let's go take a look inside. Never cut the footage, ever. It needs to be one continuous shot. Again, freaking wankers out there will do an exterior photo and then guess what, or an exterior walkthrough, then guess what they do? Well, let's go ahead and take a look inside. They cut, then they go inside, and they start recording again. Okay, we're inside the house. Well, guess what that person could have done? Gone to a different house. Again, that's like, who really thinks that way? You'd be surprised. This is such a small suggestion, but it's a huge piece of advice. So, one continuous, unedited, looping video of the whole house. Don't do the exterior and say, all right, let's go ahead and cut the video and go to the inside, and then use your iMovie or some basic editing software to put those two together. That's not how you want to do it. Cool. So you're on the driveway. You just got done showing them the neighborhood. You just got done doing the walk around. You're walking up to the front door. You open it. You step inside, and you're just narrating what you've seen. Of course, you've already walked this property, so there will be no surprises. You know what everything is and where everything is. You've got all the lights on, assuming that it has power. If it doesn't have power because you're buying like an abandoned home or something like that, then open the windows as best you can, get it as well lit as you can, have a flashlight ready, whatever it is, okay? Here you go. So you just open the front door. You're going to say, okay, we just stepped in the living room. When I look at the living room, the walls actually look pretty good. As I pan these walls, they just need basic patch and paint. Patching holes from pictures and paint. When I look at the ceiling, there don't appear to be any leaks from above. That's good. You know when a toilet or a sink upstairs is leaking because you have that brown, bubble of water, yellow-brown of standing water in the drywall that's starting to make it seep down. So it doesn't look like there are any leaks from above. This carpet sucks. It's got cat piss and dead animal. No, that's probably don't want to say that. But you could say this carpet is not keepable. It's got animal stains is a more polite way to say it. And by the way, don't down-talk the work. Remember, I'm a rehabber, and before I buy it from you, I'm going to send my contractor in there. And if you skip through this property, you're like, oh man, everything looks amazing in here. Wow, this is just fantastic. It's got that fresh summer breeze smell in here. And then my contractor shows up the next day and says, holy cow, Cole, this property is torn up from the floor up. I'm going to know you're full of crap, and I'm not going to trust anything you've said. So just be honest. You don't need to really emphasize it like, oh my gosh, I am crying. It smells so bad in here. I literally want to kill myself. That might be a little overkill, but do be honest. Hey, walls look like they are in decent shape. Then you just need some basic patch and paint. Ceiling, there doesn't appear to be any leaks from above. Carpet needs to be replaced. It has animal stains in it. You're definitely going to want to redo the flooring. As we continue through the living room, we get to the dining room. More of the same. No leaks from above. Patch and paint on the walls. Same carpet from before needs to be replaced. We're going to go ahead and take a right walk through this entryway, and now we are in the kitchen. As I pan the kitchen, you're going to notice that it's got a lot of great open space, so that's good. The cabinets look like they've got to go. The countertops, appliances. This looks like you're going to have to do the entire kitchen from the floor up. I would even suggest fixing the lighting as well. You can do this in this video. I would even suggest fixing the lighting as well because there's only one center light right here that I don't imagine would give off good light in the evening. You might want to consider putting some cans in instead. One in each of the four corners and then a fifth can here in the middle. Feel free to give them this type of creative feedback. Lighting looks like it could use some work. Next, as we walk through the family room, the kitchen, we get in the family room. You guys got it. I'm not going to narrate the whole house. That's why that walkthrough video is so critical. The whole thing, start to finish, should take between 5 and 7 minutes. I know I've been explaining it for 10, but when you don't stop to explain it and you just walk the property, talking about what you're seeing and narrating it, it should take about 5 to 7 minutes. Why also do you want pictures? Again, you can't have too much content. Here's my phone. You can't have too much content in your videos, so just go for it, right? So pictures and video, that's huge. You're definitely going to want to have that. So we've got the cover page, we've got the table of contents, tax auditor records, property information, pictures and videos of the property. Obviously, you're going to want that as well. The next thing you're going to want are the comps, comparable properties, and a CMA. Apparently I can't write. A CMA stands for a comparative market analysis. Different real estate people in different parts of the country call it different things. CMA is by far the most common. Again, it stands for comparative market analysis. It's basically where they take the property and compare it to other properties. Better than just giving you a list of comps, they'll actually break it down, price per square foot, etc. So this is a even more thorough way of showing the property of a house. Now, why are you going to show them the comps and the CMA? Because that gives them their ARV. Now they're going to know what their after repair value is. They're going to say, okay, I know that Cole is selling this to me. Let's create some real numbers. I know that Cole is, based on the cover page, selling me this house for $200,000 even. I now see the comps, based on the CMA and the comps, the whole neighborhood's going for the 315 to 350 range, and based on the CMA, it puts my house at about 330. Okay, so Cole's selling it for 200, and I could sell for about 330. What's the other thing they need to know? Well, how much work is going to need to be put into this property? So, what do you think the next thing should be? A repair estimate. Again, don't BS this. You're going to bring me a property. You're going to, for $200,000, you're going to show me the comps. You can't BS that. You can't make up property selling. You can't have a contractor or yourself put a low-ball number on this repair estimate. Then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to bite. I'm going to say, oh my gosh, you want to give me a house for $200,000 that I could sell for $330 based on the comps, and you're telling me it only needs $15,000 worth of repairs? I'm in. Then I'm going to send my contractor over there. The contractor's going to be like, dang, it needs like $80,000 worth of repairs. I'm going to call you an idiot. I'm never going to do business with you again, and I'm going to pass on the deal. So, repair estimate, be straight up with them. Maybe even get 2 or 3 different contractors out there to give you some quotes on this. Learn how to create estimates on your own. I got a referral for a book that I can't remember off the top of my head. It will be in one of these upcoming videos, because when I stop this one, I'll Google it and I'll figure out which one it was supposed to be. So, the next thing is a repair estimate. Now, let's, I wish I had a different color pen. Let's put a little star next to 5 and a little star next to 6. Because those are 2 things that many people can't do on their own. You can create a cover page. You can shoot videos and a picture. You can type out the property info. You can pull the tax records. You do not need to be a realtor to pull tax records. You just go to the tax auditor's website or the city website and you pull it from there. But comps and a CMA, you need MLS access for. That requires a real estate agent. And a repair estimate almost always requires a contractor. So the question becomes, Cole, where do I get realtors? Where do I get contractors? Go back to the video I created called Building Your Team. They're going to want to work with you because they're going to be getting business from you. So you can also, obviously, get limited MLS access. I've talked about that in previous videos as well, where you're not an actual realtor, but through another real estate agent's license, you're paying like $100 a month or something to get MLS access. You can then pull comps and do that on your own. And then a repair estimate, you're going to want to get good at that. That's just the bottom line. You're not going to be a contractor. You don't need to know how to build wood walls. You don't need to know how to swing a hammer. But you are going to want to know the basic cost of labor and materials for the types of properties you're doing. That takes some time to learn. I'm sure I'll create more content around that later. That more gets into rehabbing, and this is a wholesaling rental property program. But when it comes to repair estimates, that is something that you're going to want to be able to do on your own. And that will come with time. Now, if you spend 5 hours a week on your business or 50 hours a week on your business, That's how quickly you'll learn this. The more time you put in, the faster you get results. It's like the gym or anything else. But after you put in enough time, you'll be able to do repair estimates on your own. I have never been a contractor in my life, yet I can walk through a property and be within 5 to 10% off my own numbers of walking through and saying, okay, I know I got to put this, then I got to put this, okay, and this is going to be about $1.25 a square foot. This is going to be about $11.50 a square foot, and I can then use a tape measure and measure how many square feet it is, and then do the math. It's 400 square feet of flooring here for side pattern travertine at $12 a square foot. I got 400 square feet times $12. I can do that math. Then I move on to the drywall. Then I move on to the paint. Here in Southern California, I can hire a painting contractor to come in and paint my walls. It ends up being about $1 to $1.25 a square foot. That includes labor and paint. So for the whole house. So if I've got a 3,000 square foot house, I know that my paint is going to be around $5 to $6 grand for a nice paint, right? So the point is, I know this because I've been doing it. You'll learn this too. Okay, that was too long of a rant. Where are we at? Okay, so we got the comps, we got the repair estimate. Next thing that is awesome to include in your wholesale packet are your team. We'll call it buyer's resources. Buyer's resources. Sources. Okay, buyer's resources. Why buyer's resources, and who does it include? Watch this. It includes this contractor and this realtor, which is why they want to work for you, and they're going to pull these comps for you because it takes them 10 seconds, and they're going to pull this estimate for you, because then when you wholesale this deal, a lot of times this buyer will use your team because they've already seen it, they're already familiar with the property. So you're going to give them the buyer's resources. That's not always helpful for someone like me. I already have a team of realtors, I already have a team of contractors, I'm good to go, but I can't tell you how many times I've wholesaled a house where they straight up ask me, hey Cole, I see the numbers, they make sense. My contractor that I've been working with sucks. Do you have a better referral for me? Or I don't have time to list my properties myself anymore. Do you have a realtor you can refer me to? So many times, even for someone who's been in the business for years, they're shopping to get new contractors, new realtors, including the buyer's resources section. Again, title agents, whoever you use on your team. Why do you want to do that? Well, watch this. Number one, this person that's going to buy this house has now extra value. They're extra excited that you're giving them referrals. Number two, it makes the deal go by faster, so you get paid faster. And number three, do you think your contractor, here we go, and your realtor are going to be excited that you're telling people about them and that they're getting calls saying, hey, I'm looking at a property with Cole Hatter. He gave me your information here. As a real estate agent, I would love to talk to you about being my real estate agent. Guess what they're going to do? Send you tickets to the Angels game or whatever to show their appreciation. For any of you that are already in real estate, you already know the greatest compliment you can give someone in real estate is a referral. Contractors, realtors, loan officers, we all say the same thing. Hey, you like the service I just provided for you? I'm your BFF and you want to name your firstborn after me? Don't even bother. Just give me referrals. Cool. And then the last thing that you're going to have in your packet is all your info again. All contact info. Okay. So, as you remember, your contact info is right here. But you want to have an entire page of it as well. Website, phone number, email addresses, everything for them to get a hold of you. So watch this. Let's go all the way back to what I said in the previous videos. Cash buyers are busy. They're moving. They're looking at deals. They don't have time to hang out with you. If you pitch me, and I actually take FaceTime with you, and I don't just say email it to me, which is what I'm going to say 99.9% of the time. But let's just say I'm like, all right, cool, let's meet at Starbucks. And I actually sit down and you show up, and you're like, all right, Cole, close your eyes and picture this. It's nestled in the cul-de-sac with a painter. I'm just going to get them and be like, dude, this sucks. Give me a packet. Instead, you email me a PDF, which I don't think I've said yet. Make the wholesale packet digital. Either something that is a PDF. Why can't I write today? PDF, or it's right on your website for people to download. Digital. I don't even need to emphasize this. You're watching this through your computer or your phone. Digital. Everything's got to be digital. So this wholesale packet, no more the days of going to Kinko's and printing it out and having it on a spiral-bound notebook. If you're going to go to RIA groups, I'm even still hesitant to suggest to do that. Let's say you got a sweet wholesale deal and you want to go to a RIA and you want to print this full-blown packet and spiral-bound it and walk around and hand that to people at the RIA group. Yeah, You know what I would rather do is ask them for their email address and then tell them I'm going to email it to them. Why? Because now they have a digital downloadable file, number one. Number two, and so they can start researching it. Number two, it didn't cost me any money. Number three, I just got somebody's name and email that can put in my back office. So instead of handing somebody a packet that they're then going to meet 6 more people, they're going to set it down while they're getting a water and then walk out without it, I'm going to get that person's email address. This is specifically to networking like at RIA groups. I'm going to get their email address. I'm going to email them a PDF so they can download it, and I didn't waste any money, and I captured a lead at the same time. But if you sit down and you go through all the tax records, you've shown me all the property info in a way that's just laid out for me. And again, all this information can be verified through the tax records. I've seen a picture. I've seen a great unedited, one-take, no-cut video of the interior and exterior of that house. I see the comps, the CMA. So now I know what the neighborhood's selling for, and I know what I'm going to sell this house for. I then know how much money I've got to put into it, not because you're guessing, because there are actual things there. When I say repair estimate, that's not a number. That's everything. That's like, it's going to be $56,922, and here's why. This much drywall, this much paint, this much everything. Your referrals, which personally I don't necessarily need today, but guess what? My realtor tomorrow could tell me that he or she have made so much money that they're just not interested in being a realtor anymore. They're going to go float around in the Caribbean the rest of their life. Then I might need a referral for a realtor. You never know when someone's shopping for teammates. And then the last one is all the contact info. If you give this to people, they can quickly determine whether the deal makes sense or not. You're not necessarily going to get an offer, although I do. I will literally cold email somebody whose email address, I have no idea where I got it. Somewhere along the way. They opted into one of my funnels, or they gave me a business card, or they emailed me, and somehow I've got their email. And I just send them one of these. I have gotten offers from literal cold leads who I don't even know how I got a hold of them. Write me back and say, Cole, this looks great. Let's do the deal. But what this does do, whether you get an offer or not, what it does do is it gives them enough information for them to know whether they're interested or not. So the emails you might get back are, man, this looks fantastic. Can I swing by and take a look at the property myself before they make you an offer or whatever it is? But this is a wholesale packet. That was the title of this video. That's what this whole video is about. And now you know how to not only present lenders as much information as quickly as you can, you're actually looking legit. I would also, on this page right here, the cover page, put your company logo on there, make it look sweet. So this is the bare minimums. Now, customize it. Maybe you want to use a program in your Apple or in your Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office that puts, a header on the bottom of every page, of every single page, with your company logo, phone number, email address, right? It's at the very bottom strip like attorneys do, like real estate investors do. However you want, this is what must be in it. Go back to what I said at the beginning of this video. Think of what else you would have wanted to see personally and include that. For instance, you know what you could add? I've got a reputation now, but for those of you that are brand new, you know what you could add is a page about you and your business. You could, if you chose to, somewhere towards the top, maybe after table of contents, is a one-page, not long, one-page overview of who you are and what you do. I don't need to do that anymore, but if it was my very first month in real estate investing, that's not a bad ad. So maybe right here is a little bonus, info on you. That's not your contact info. That's, hey, my name is Cole. I've been a real estate investor for 5 minutes. You're the very first person I've ever talked to. I'm just kidding. You probably won't want to include that. You would want to say things like, my name is Cole. I'm a residential redeveloper. I also wholesale properties. I focus my efforts in the southern Orange County area, although I will buy as far as Ventura or San Diego, maybe a little bit in the Inland Empire, right? This is just what mine would say. The specific properties I target are single-family detached SFR, single-family residences. Just talk about your strategy. There you go. So that is a wholesale packet. Get on it. Use it. It is going to help your business. It is going to legitimize you as a real estate investor, and it's going to quickly get a buyer all the information they need to know on whether they would want to buy your house or not, period. What's up? It's Cole again. I want to talk about another creative way to get these wholesale deals sold. So let's go big picture for a second. Let's not talk specifically to wholesaling. Let's just talk about selling real estate. you probably all have seen something called an open house. 90+% of the open houses out there are people that list their home with a realtor, and on Saturday or Sunday, that real estate agent throws some signs out in the neighborhood, says open house with an arrow. You show up, and there is that person's home that has been fixed up, recently painted. They got it cleaned up as best they could to get it ready to sell. It's got furniture in it. The homeowners leave for the afternoon, and there's a realtor with some fresh cookies sitting with his or her feet up saying, oh, thank God, buyers, and they walk you through the house, hoping you'll make an offer. That's an open house. You guys have got that. And for 90% of them, plus maybe even more than that, they're designed for retail buyers. So if that's something the industry has accepted, if that's something that people are used to, then why not bring that into the investor world as well? So real estate agents do open houses for retail homes. So why wouldn't real estate investors do open houses for wholesale homes? Now, you're not going to target regular home buyers who are using traditional financed, 20% down, 30 or fixed mortgages to acquire these properties. You're going to be targeting it for rehabbers to come in. So you literally do what's called an investor open house. And I need to get a new one of these. Investor / buyer open house. Now, again, what this is it's giving people who are investors or cash buyers a chance to come and walk through the property with you physically being there, or someone on your team. It could be a realtor, it could be a partner, it could be someone you hired and have trained that is articulate and a good salesperson. Whoever's in that house has to be a seller, right? It has to be someone who can sell. That being said, this gives them a chance to show up, meet you in person, and walk the property with you there, explaining your vision for it. I've done these a lot, where it's an investor open house, where you email your entire list. You go to a RIA group that's on Wednesday. The Wednesday before your open house is on Saturday. So you'd want to schedule that. By now, you should have found a RIA group. I have been promoting that like crazy. If you're new to the program, I don't know how you would be because we haven't opened this up in 6 weeks, but maybe you've been busy and you're just checking it out for the first time. REIA stands for Real Estate Investor Associations. You're going to want to go and join one. Now, they usually only meet once a month on a day, like the first Wednesday of every month or the third Thursday of every month. Doesn't matter. But whatever RIA group that you attend, whenever that date is, that following weekend, you're going to want to schedule an open house. Be strategic about it. Okay, let's see. I'm looking at my calendar. My RIA group is meeting on Wednesday the 17th. Cool. That Saturday the 20th, I'm going to do an open house. Then guess what you're going to do on Wednesday the 17th? You're going to show up with some flyers that say Investor Buyer Open House, 123 Main Street. And then you're going to have just some basic items on what the property is, purchase price, after repair value, etc. You're going to build an interest list or like a registration list of people that wants to be there. You're going to get their email before they show up. You're going to email them the wholesale packet. If you skipped that video, go back. We talked about what a wholesale packet is. We went through all the details. So you're going to email them that wholesale packet that night on Wednesday. They're going to show up the following Saturday, Sunday. Not to mention all the people that you emailed. Not to mention that you can literally do like realtors do and put out some signs that say open houses. You're going to attract some random looky-loos that are driving by and are like, open house, let's go take a look. They're going to be a little bit shocked to walk into a property that is destroyed, right? Or maybe not destroyed, but definitely needs work. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to walk in and be like, oh my gosh, and walk right out. Cool, moving on. That's luck to think that a retail buyer would want to buy the house and do the work themselves anyway. You're really fishing for other investors, okay? I walk open houses all the time to get inspiration, to see what people are doing, to see what colors they like, to see what floor, right? To see that oil-rubbed bronze is more popular than gold, right? I walk into houses with gold hinges and gold handles. I know it was built in the 90s. I walk into properties with with oil-rubbed bronze handles and hinges, and I know that it's a more modern, a newer home, okay? So I'm walking through properties to get little tips and little inspiration ideas like that all the time. I'm cruising on a Saturday, minding my own business. I see an open house, and I just cruise by. I'm in the business, right? I take a look. They have no idea who I am. I walk in there like I'm anybody else, and I leave. But if I happen to walk into an investor buyer open house, and I say, oh my gosh, I might make an all-cash offer. That was besides the point. Let's get back to the big picture. Throw an open house and get as many of your cash buyers to show up as possible. Go to the RIA group the week of, or as many you can. Maybe within the whole month, right? Hit up 3 or 4 RIA groups that you can drive to that are within driving distance of your house and pass out flyers on all of them. Network with a purpose. Get people to show up. And then at your open house, another way to get people there is give away an iPad. Investors like iPads. iPad giveaway. Watch this. An iPad giveaway. When they walk in the door, you give them a raffle ticket. So when they arrive, you give them a raffle ticket. Let's just say that your open house is planned to be an hour or whatever. You should do 2 raffles at the end of each hour. So let's just say your open house is from 2 to 4. You should do a raffle at 3 and a raffle at 4. Why? Because someone walks in at 2:20, they're about to leave at 2:40, 2:45. Guess what you say? Stop. We're going to do a raffle in 15 minutes. You might as well hang out for another 15 minutes. There's a chance you can win an iPad. Okay? Then you do the freaking iPad raffle at 3 o'clock, and those buyers kind of trickle out, and then over that next hour, you get more and more and more in there. And then at 4 o'clock, right at the end of your open house, you do a second iPad giveaway. iPads are cool. Real estate agents like using iPads. The ones that don't just need Wi-Fi, the ones that can connect to cell signals so they can be out looking at MLS listings and things like that out in the field. Get creative. I'm just using an iPad as an example. You can do whatever you want to get people interested in showing up. You can give away gift cards to Home Depots. You can, anything that you think would be helpful for them. So, have investor buyer open houses. This might seem very simple, and you're like, Cole, that's not a super ninja strategy. Try it. I have sold dozens and dozens of homes, wholesale homes, not retail. I'll just list on the MLS and sell it. Wholesale deals, properties that need work, by doing open houses and having somebody show up, walk the property, negotiate my numbers with me a little bit, and then right there we shake on it, we put it under contract, and I assign it to them. Or depending on the strategy, which we haven't talked yet, I might be doing a resale, wholesale, simultaneous close. However I've structured the deal, we do that, and I'm out, and I get paid. So consider that one. Investor/buyer open houses. Have an actual day where you schedule it for everyone to show up. Why is that cool? Because you might think to yourself, well, Cole, I'm going to email them the PDF file, the wholesale packet. It's going to have the address on it. I'm going to have a lockbox on it. They can go and take a look at it whenever they want. By getting a bunch of buyers in the room, it creates urgency and it creates fear of loss. That's just a psychology thing. If a buyer shows up to a house and they're the only person there, it does less to them psychologically than when they show up to a house and it's filled with people. I know this because I'm speaking from experience. When I show up to a house and I see a real estate agent on the driveway with a couple, and I see someone else's car pulling up, and I walk in, I see 3 or 4 other people, you know what I say? Crap. This is going to go quick. I need to make an offer now. So, although you can allow investors to stop by your property and look anytime, I wouldn't deny them access to it. But I would suggest, hey, instead of you seeing it Friday, why don't you just come to the open house on Saturday? I'll be there personally. I can answer any questions in person. And they might say, nope, I can't. I'm busy. I got soccer with my kids. Or they might say, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that instead. Getting everyone in the room at the same time, when you have 30 people that want to buy a house and there's only one house for sale, that's a good way to create urgency, create some FOMO, fear of missing out, fear of loss, the whole deal. Take them through it. And not only can you get an offer faster, higher. That's why auctions work. Just so you guys know, why do they invent auctions? Because there's that competitive rivalry where I'm bidding against homeboy back here, and as we're going back and forth, I want to get it. It becomes like a game almost, and people overpay. Look at eBay. There's statistics that literally show that people will pay more for something on eBay than they could have gotten it somewhere else because they get into a bidding war, and it's fun. Try to create that same buzz in your houses. You can't do that virtually by only emailing people and letting them show up once at a time. Having an open house creates a buzz, creates some urgency, creates some fear of loss, will get you an offer for more money and faster. Take my word for it. Give it a try.